I think Miles Santafer is a perfect example of how class impacts the lives of his students and parents.
Miles had graduated from elementary school, which was in somewhat like a rough neighborhood, and I wanted to get him into a private school, but because being a single parent, I couldn't afford it. I chose CLAS because I wanted to find the best middle school for him. I knew that was an impressionable age and that he needed to be around positive cultural educators.
You want to have as many available options for your writing as possible, as long as you understand when you're going to choose the academic terms and when you can choose the other slang terms.
The first time I walked in, I never forget, I met Anthony Jackson. Very nice guy, just took us in right away, me and my son, Dr. Holly, Janice Buckner. It was just a community, a family.
They challenged me to critically think about my surroundings and society itself. They really instilled something far more greater than what's instilled in students at other schools.
I asked her, is she going to change hating because it's slang? She said, well, she would just add the G, but isn't that still
It's
slang?
still slang, right. Adding the G does not take away the fact that it's slang. And if you're writing an essay, does slang belong there? Should you use slang?
No.
Right. So you need to change that to the academic term.
He has attained a lot that they've given him. He affirms it. He knows who he is because of CLAS. Student body president, class president every year, 4.3 grade point average. He's no different from your child. This, like I said, is a lot that CLAS put in. Being that I was single, I didn't get a lot of time with him because of the work that I had to do. What I didn't do, they did. Today we're celebrating Miles' farewell to UC Berkeley. They said that a young black male being raised by us.
Take your time, compose yourself. This is a happy day. Mom, this is happy. Those are tears of joy.
Being raised by a single parent will not succeed. He has beaten every odd. He has proven to the world that he can do it, and he's doing it on a full scholarship to UC Berkeley.
When I went to Berkeley to visit, there's people of all types of backgrounds. And it's not our role to learn ours and then shun everybody else's, but I know when I go into those different circles, I know who I am. So I can deal with you at an okay level, because I think a big reason racism is people don't understand each other. So there's issues, but at CLAS I have a sense of self and self-identity, therefore I can go in any social circle or meet with anybody and it'll be okay. I have no problem.
And so I recommend CLAS to any student, any parent. Barack Obama, send your 2 children to CLAS. I'm telling you, you will see the difference. I know you went to Harvard, but I'm telling you, your 2 little girls will be so happy and satisfied, and so will you. Mr. Jackson, Dr. Holly, Miss Buckner, you guys don't know how much I owe you. I owe you big time. Thank you so much for being the father for my son. Because of you, I sit here today as a Berkeley mom. So proud of my son. Thank you so much.
So I need everybody to stand up and give Ms. Knight Beasley a round of applause for the job she's done.
I need a bigger umbrella. That's what I need. That's what I need. I need a bigger umbrella.
Tell them what you need.
I need an office. It doesn't make sense. I'm out here in the rain with children's files, their personal information getting wet. I'm with a computer from LAUSD getting wet that I know will not get replaced if it gets damaged. So I'm holding a box top over that with an umbrella over my head. It's raining. Can I please get an office, please? I have no phone. God forbid when the kids get hurt, injured, I have nowhere for them to sit, to lay down. This does not make sense. It just does not make sense.
We've had ongoing challenges with our facilities, really from day one. And the latest version of that is our office manager, Miss Lori, at our Coliseum Street site, does not have an office. If you look at it from a legal standpoint, the reason why we're in this situation, according to Proposition 39, which is the law that says charter schools must share space with regular public schools. So we're co-located with Coliseum, and the district then allocates space based on availability. LA Unified is saying, we've given you enough space to house the students who are in the district boundary, which accounts for 70% of our student population. But they don't account for the other 30%, which they consider out of district boundary. So therefore, we don't have enough space. Where Ms. Lori had an office last year, we had to use as a classroom this year. And we are left without an office. We made a move to bring our second grade over here based on the fact that it was in the best interest of those youngsters not being on the middle school campus. And we're telling the district that we had to make this move based on the interest of the students, so therefore we think that there should be an allowance to get at least office space. The district basically told us, we've given you all the space we're going to give you. It's your problem that you don't have an office. We're on a way now to get her a canopy so she can be protected from the weather, sun or rain. Past 2 years, it was our kids had to use porta potties because the district did not have enough restrooms for when we came on the campus, and initially refused to put an additional restroom on campus. So for 2 years, our kids had to use porta potties. So I've always used the analogy that we're sort of making wine out of water, or feeding 5,000 with a couple of loaves and 2 fish. Because it is a miracle on one hand that we have been able to do so much with so little.
I think from the beginning, resources have always been an issue. We were fortunate to have the startup grant, but in our naivete of not really having a solid business plan or a sense of what the next few years were going to bring in terms of the charter movement itself, changes that were going to happen in funding at the state level, we weren't even remotely forecasting or prepared for that. We also haven't had a strong fundraising board, other partners who truly understand the vision, who are committed to the vision, who feel as deep about it and meaningfully about it as you do.
Because we haven't been very successful in fund development, 100% of our revenue comes from average daily attendance, meaning student enrollment and students being in the seats in the classroom daily. CLAS has had no problem attracting new students. However, we have been challenged by keeping students who've enrolled. Most often parents leave because of their sense of our fiscal instability and the fact that CLAS won't be around, even though we have been around for 10 years.
We started off out the gates very strong. For example, we started off with about 130 students, but the next year we could have doubled our population. The challenge was we didn't have facility size. It limited our capacity to grow.
For myself, it's been a tough 10-year ride financially. I don't regret any of the sacrifices I've made because I believed in them all, but it's been hard. I believe in the vision. I've enjoyed it being part of trying to keep that vision alive and move the vision forward, but I have to make some practical decisions in terms of my family's future, and it's a struggle because it's where my heart is.
Because of our financial woes and the fact that we are very seriously in the red in terms of our budget, we have great debt and have had issues with our taxes, it is very unlikely that we're going to get renewed.
It's difficult for me to wrap my brain around the thought of CLAS closing because it just can't. It cannot. Chiefly for the reason that it's so vitally important. It simply cannot close.